Hello tankers and tankettes, and welcome to not an April Fool's video. This is in fact a genuine replay of me playing World of Tanks, and it's a tank you won't have seen me playing before because I don't actually own this tank. I'm going to have to explain that a bit. About a month ago, actually no, it'll be less than that, about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, I got an email from Wargaming saying, "Congratulations, it's been 9 years since you created your World of Tanks account. Have some days of premium time and a tier 8 premium on us." And I thought, oh, that's actually really generous. Just a tier 8 premium. I mean, okay, I've spent a lot of money on the game over the last 9 years. Mostly not recently, of course, but still I have spent a fair bit. And so, although, you know, getting a tier 8 premium out of the blue might have seemed a bit much, on reflection I thought, no, actually, you know, okay, that seems like quite a nice reward for all the years I've been playing and all the money I've spent on other premium tanks. So I clicked on the link in the email, claimed the thing, opened up the game and discovered actually it's just a 30-day rental. So, not nearly as generous as I had first presumed. Maybe it made that clear in the email and I just missed it. Maybe it really wasn't clear in the email, but either way, I have been playing it a little bit and some other vehicles off and on as well. And this is, I think, the best game I've had in it. It's nothing amazing, but it maybe showcases just how good this tank is, that I can get a decent result in it even after really not playing the game much for quite a long time, because I am pretty much a scrub in World of Tanks these days. Now this is the I don't even know what we call this autoloader system. Does it have a shorthand beyond the Italian autoloader, auto reloader? I don't know, but it's got that Italian system where it's not quite the clip autoloader that you see in other tanks. And I have covered this tank previously many moons ago when it first came out, so I don't really need to go into detail, but suffice it to say, if you empty your clip you're going to have the longest reload, whereas if you're just shooting that third shell, the first shell, the shell at the top of the clip, how does one describe that? Anyway, you have the best reload, so you can get the burst damage, but it comes at a cost of DPM, essentially. Anyway, maybe I should talk about the game itself a bit. As you can see, this is an encounter game, and I initially came over here thinking maybe I'd have to fall back, but no, I had enough allies come with me, including some heavies, that I'm able to get myself into more of a forward spotting position, although I am really very aware that this is not artillery safe, potentially, and some of the tank destroyers that they have on the enemy team, depending on where they are, could be really very nasty. We know that the IS-3 is back there behind that rock, but there might be a TD of some kind back there as well, including the T-30, and the T-30 could be really very unpleasant indeed. One of the things that feels really odd coming back to World of Tanks, given that I'm now so used to World of Warships, is how easy it is to lose hit points really quickly, regardless of the class of vehicle that you are in. It can still happen in World of Warships. Any class of ship that eats a bunch of torpedoes at once can just lose you know, incredible amounts of health, if not die outright. And if you're in a cruiser or badly angled in a battleship, you can also lose a lot of hit points that way. But overall, generally speaking, with the increased health you have, the pace of gameplay, and armour being the factor that it is for some classes of ships, or speed and difficulty of hitting them for others, yeah, it's just a rather different experience. The number of times in the last couple of weeks I don't even know how many battles it will have been. Not that many, but probably like, I don't know, 2 or 3 dozen battles overall. Because for the most part, World of Tanks games don't take that long. And, oh, yeah, there's the T30, by the way. Ouch. Very ouch, although that was a below average roll, I believe, so it still could have been worse. And oh, yeah, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. That's more than 3/4 of my hit points gone in very short order. And this was with me having actually put some... Did I put some doubloons down for... I can't remember if I put some doubloons down for a decent crew or not, if I just used some crew training books. But it was enough to get me 6th sense on this crew anyway. But yeah, what was I saying about... I was saying something about warships and... I don't know, just that it's happened a bunch, especially if I'm playing tanks that don't have 6th sense, where you just lose all your hit points in one go, if not die outright in one go. So yeah, there's multiple things still about this game that, yeah, I don't think I could be convinced to come back long term unless some fairly radical changes happened. I actually learned, talking of radical changes, was it last year or the year before? I was talking to CM1994. I platooned up a bit with him on one evening, and there was a test on the Asia server of +1/-1 matchmaking, which apparently had really good feedback from the players on that server. And then it's just been pretty much radio silence since then, from what I understand. So... yeah, that would be a hugely welcome change. I would at least come back to see what the game was like with +1/-1. I imagine it'd be a hell of a lot more enjoyable overall. But yeah, the fact that it has basically just been, to my knowledge, radio silence since then doesn't really make me confident that it is something that will come to the game. I'm totally going to push my luck here, by the way. This is a silly move and shows just how rusty I am. I did not really need to die to that rhyme at all, but we're kind of winning. We held the area around the cap, and there's not that many tanks left now, so it's fine. I really didn't need to die, but it doesn't materially affect the outcome of this game. So yeah, that was kind of surprising to learn that they'd actually tested it, but even more surprising to learn that they then just haven't really done or said anything with +1/-1 since. But the fact that it took them like 7 or 8 years to get to the point of actually doing a live test of +1/-1 is something in my mind a bit extraordinary in its own right, because I remember back in the days of being a CC when I got a chance once on the very rare occasions when we actually got to talk to devs firsthand, asking this question, and it just being flat out denied in such a way that made it very clear that it wasn't a thing that was even remotely a consideration. And bear in mind, this would have been like 2014, 2015, so, you know, a while ago, but still, the fact that it's taken them this long even just to test it. Yeah, they really do move very slowly when it comes to World of Tanks, those devs. Anyway, so 3k damage and top of the team, nothing amazing, but yeah, I obviously landed a blind hit at some point. But yeah, for me these days, managing 3k damage in a medium tank, I mean, it just goes to show how good this tank is. I don't think it's overpowered, but it's certainly a very, very strong tank. And I kind of wish I had the opportunity... Well, if they weren't going to give it to me outright, then I at least had the opportunity to maybe buy it during this rental period, because it's the kind of tank I would come back and play from time to time. But no, it doesn't seem like that's an option, so... yeah, oh well, so much for the generosity of, you know, towards a long-term account player that's spent a lot of money on the game over the years. Yeah, I think I'll be sticking with warships for the time being somehow. But, you know, if I have any other good games in World of Tanks, you might well see them here. Anyway, that's it for this replay. Hopefully you have enjoyed it, and if you have, you can do all the usual things down underneath the video, and of course, as always, stay tuned for more.